Today, we're talking growth, we're talking success, and we're talking more importantly how to become the best version of you can possibly be. Achieving self-growth, achieving self-improvement is going to be going forward. Staying the same old you or even regressing, going backwards is going to be behind you. That's that pathway back here. But we want to go this way. We want to go forward. However, the reason why a lot of people stay stagnant, the reason why a lot of people don't grow, why they can't accomplish what they want, is because to go forward, to take that leap, to go in that positive direction, it requires the unknown. Because that is the distinction right there between the forward, which is our growth, and backward, which is staying the same. Is that growth is unknown. We don't know what happens. We don't know what we have to do. We don't know what obstacles, what roadblocks, what anything's going to go when we go that direction. However, though, behind us, although it might be the worst version of ourselves, although it might be the more dull version of ourselves, we find comfort in it because it is our comfort zone. It's our comfort zone because we're so familiar with it. It's full of familiarities, okay? We know who's there, what's there, where are we in that version, what are we doing every single day. We know what it entails. We know what it is. Although you might not be the person that you want to be back there, it's safe. But when we talk about that growth, it requires us to dive into the unknown where we know nothing. We don't know what's going on. And the problem with that is in the unknown, we lose a lot of our previous life. And that's why a lot of people, they want to change. They don't truly want to change because it requires us to cut things out, whether it's habits. Maybe you need to eat less junk food if you're trying to get a better body. Maybe you need to cut that person out of your life if they're constantly bringing toxicity and bad habits and being a bad influence to you. And it's hard because behind us always has that pull on us in life. Because like I said, it's familiar. The old voices always come back. They always say, just come back with us again. Come back, and try to pull you back. But you have to deny it. You have to deny it and you have to push forward. Because one of the greatest but simplest quotes is, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't like who you are now, or maybe you do like who you are now, maybe that's an overstatement. If you're not happy with the direction that you're going in your life, if you don't make the change, how are you expecting to ever change the direction you're in? And I think that right there is kind of it plays on the human mind. I feel like it's easy to continuously do the same habits and see the same people and do the same things and just consume all the same material over and over again. And then somehow expect for one day to us to make this leap, to make this change of who we are and become a better person and become the person that we want to be. But in reality, the habits, the people, the things, the places, all those things that we do in our life, that's what shapes who we are. And I feel like we kind of disconnect that right there. And we think that, we have some kind of high ground in our own mind where it's like, no, I actually control who I am and who I'm seen as. But it's not true. You become a product of your environment. You become a product of all the things you do because they shape your identity and they shape who you are. If you don't like who you are, but you're unwilling to change who you are right now and the identity that you have around you, then clearly you don't want to change. You're just in love with the idea of becoming better, and you like it's like a fantasy. One day I'll become different. One day I'll change. But it's not like that though. It's not. You don't want that because it's scary. It's hard to take the leap into the unknown. Because what happens when I cut this person out? What happens when I don't talk to them anymore? What happens to me when I don't drink anymore? Will I be the same person? Will I still have fun? Will I do all these things? And that right there that's your old life constantly calling to you, telling you, don't leave me. I need you. You got to come back here. You can't push forward. But behind every single person who's ever made a positive change, behind every single person who's become successful, athlete, musician, any kind of position right there, it all takes the leap of diving into the unknown, diving into a change that you're uncertain what the outcome is going to be. And you're uncertain what's going to be on that road. You're uncertain of what obstacles are going to be there, who's going to be there, and where it's going to take you. But if you truly want to change, if you truly want to become the best version of yourself, you must be willing to make that change regardless. Because, and here's the kicker right here, even if the road to the change sucks, even if it's hard, even if you're chasing a basketball dream, that's what becomes the best version of you, is to make the NBA. And maybe you think it's going to be easier than it is, and you just had to make that change, and you're alarmed by the fact that to become this basketball player, you have to take 1,000 shots a day, okay? You got to be shooting 1,000 threes a day, okay? And it's so hard, it's incredibly terrible, and it's like blowing your mind, like I really have to do this. What you find out, though, is that change right there is what molds you into becoming the person that you want to be. The difficult obstacle, that adversity shapes you into becoming who you want to be. So you can relate to that. You can put that to anything in your life. Say if you want to become a dad, that's your goal. You become a mom, and you have a relationship with someone, and you're dating them, and maybe you're married to them, whatever. And it's like you're going through hard times in your relationship, or you're working to just become a more healthy, stable relationship to have a family. And you're dealing with struggles. You're dealing with hard things in your life, and maybe the relationship's it's getting rocky because there's so much conflict and so much back and forth because of that right there. But that is what makes you into the good dad. That is what makes you into the good mom, because those struggles, those hard times, those obstacles shape you into having the relationship that you need to have, that is strong, that is stable, is unwavering. So when you do have that child, you guys are perfect. You guys are locked in. You guys are like that right there. So nothing can break you. And entering that child in your life is so easy to be a good dad and a good mom, because the first thing you have to do to become a good dad or a good mom is to become a good husband or a good wife. So the journey shapes you into who you need to become, and the unknown just become the factors that create the product that you need to become the person that you want to be. So I'm telling you, just take that leap. If you want to have growth, if you want to have improvement, if you want to become a better person, you have to take the change. You have to risk it, because that journey, that path is going to shape you into who you are. Yes, it's unknown. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's hard. But all those things right there, they build you. They build your character and they make who you are. And the person that you are today, if you're not making positive direction and positive growth, it's never going to happen out of nowhere. It's never going to just hit you in the head. Oh, I'm becoming better. I'm a better person now because I woke up today. No, the people around you, the things that you're doing, the routines you have, the job you're working, all these things, that's what makes you who you are. And that direction is not positive. It's not towards a growing manner. It's never going to happen until you make a change. So you have to cut something out or add something in and chase the unknown. Push forward. Do not go backwards. And even when that past life, even when them familiarities call to you and say they want you back, you have to push them off. Because part of the thing with growing is outgrowing. Think of a plant right here, okay? A plant starts as a little seed. You can plant that thing anywhere you want. You can put it in the tiniest little cup ever, and it's going to grow. But as that plant gets bigger and bigger, it needs to get a bigger pot. It needs to grow bigger. It needs a bigger environment because it's gotten so big, it's gotten so healthy. The only alternative to that plant, though, is it could just stay the same size forever and live in that little tiny pot forever, that little tiny cup you put it in. And that might sound so simple and sound so dumb, but that is you right there. If you're putting yourself in a tiny little cup, you're only going to grow to be that tiny little plant. Your potential, though, is to grow into a huge plant. You could be a tree, but a tree's never going to grow if it's inside a tiny little cup, okay? So I need you to realize that right there, is that your potential is being limited by the factors of your environment. Your potential is being limited by just your environment in general, the people, the things, the places, okay? And the knowns, the familiarities. Push forward into the unknown and get yourself a bigger environment, okay? You deserve to have that huge garden you can grow in, not some tiny little cup. Because I'm telling you right now, what you can become is so much greater than what you are. And that applies to me, it applies to you, that applies to every single person in this world right now. Because there is so much out there. There's so much growth. There's so much potential. And there's so many dreams that can be accomplished. You just have to push for it. And you have to make the change, because if nothing changes, then nothing changes. If you don't make that change, then nothing changes. So get after it. I'm rooting for you. Let's go. We got this. If you like the video, give it a like. If you like the channel, subscribe. I got plenty of videos like this. Comment if you want any help. I'll see you guys.